What's going on, you guys? Welcome to another video by Rider Infusion. Here to hopefully infuse you guys with some good content yet another day. And today's video, we're going to be talking about gear. Oh boy. Well, you guys, there is a lot to talk about when it comes down to the gear that you could and or should wear on a motorcycle. There's a lot to unpack here, and I'm not following a script. You know, I'm not reading off of my phone. Things that come to my mind as I ride, we're going to talk about. So bear with me here. Let me try to get my point across on where I stand as far as the gear that you should and or shouldn't wear on the motorcycle. Whoa, where the heck are you going? Okay, so right off the bat, I'm just going to jump right to it. I think that the gear that you wear when you go out and ride your motorcycle should be 100% personal preference, personal choice. If I see another rider on the streets and he is, I don't know, not wearing any gear at all, or maybe that guy right there, he's older grandpa, you know, no gloves, t-shirt, shorts, some type of sandals, I think. If that's the way that he wants to ride, by all means, go for it. Why is it that I say it that way? Because I think that the gear that you wear on your bike only affects you, the rider, not anybody else. Whether you're wearing full leathers or you're riding shirtless, I don't care. I will not judge you as a rider. You are responsible for your own body, and how you choose to protect your own body is your own personal choice. That's where I stand, and really I could just cut the video there. That's how I believe it should be. If I get in an accident and I crash and I wasn't wearing a helmet, you know, whether I was doing something stupid or not, but I crash and I die, well, who made that choice? It was me, the rider, the motorcyclist, right? That's what I believe in, is that every rider answers for himself on the gear that he or she chooses to or not to wear. That's my point of view. Being that Rider Infusion is a safety-focused channel, and really all my videos are about, pretty much all about safety, I do have to say that I've got my recommendations. I have my personal bare minimum in terms of what I believe that every rider should wear. But again, you know, take that with a grain of salt, because that's just my opinion. I think that if you're a new rider, new motorcyclist, first time you're hopping on a bike, I think that you should wear as much gear as you can. 100%, it's got to be a helmet, got to be gloves, got to be good boots, something that will protect your ankles, because new riders, it's common for new riders to drop their bikes, to stall in first gear, slow speed maneuver stuff, and if you do that, you can drop the bike potentially on your foot, on your leg, and you can hurt yourself. Pants, absolutely. And some sort of upper body, you know, good coat type thing that you should wear also. That applies to new riders. That would be my recommendation. If you're someone new and just getting into motorcycling, I say wear all the gear that you can wear. As a rider myself, that's been riding for many years now at this point, my bare minimum is helmet and pants. Helmet, pants, and a decent pair of shoes. You know, no flip-flops, no sandals, none of that sort of stuff. Good pair of shoes, good helmet, invest in a good helmet. Because not only is a good helmet lighter and more comfortable to wear, they also are going to protect your head in case of an accident. And pants. I think it's important just from the heat that comes off the bike. I think it's something that you got to have. So that's my minimum. Your minimum may or may not be different from mine, and that's fine. I'd actually love to hear what your minimum is. Put it down in the comment section below, and you know, we can all read it and see where you come from. Now, a lot of you guys that have been in an accident on a motorcycle before, your view on the gear that you wear now is probably going to be different. There's a lot of that sort of floating around, you know. You hear it quite often. People are like, hey, you know, I was in an accident, blah, blah, blah. This happened, I survived. But going forward, man, I'm going to be wearing everything. I get it. You know, people get scared and then they get back on a bike and, you know, they want to protect themselves as best as they can having gone through what they went through. Well, there we go. So 2 bikers up ahead. This is typical Florida, guys. I mean, shoes, yeah, I guess they're good, decent. Pants, good. You know, shirt, doesn't really matter what they're wearing. No helmet, no gloves. That is very, very typical Florida. It is actually rather difficult finding a rider here in Florida that actually wears a helmet, to be honest. It's kind of hard. Like, you don't see it, you know, I mean, you go out riding and you'll see riders just like those guys up there, up ahead of me to the right, wearing just what they're wearing. And that's normal for here. And to give them credit, you know, unless you've lived somewhere like Florida with the humidity that we have during the summers, with the heat that we have during the summers, I mean, I get it. It's extremely difficult putting on a ton of gear. It is very, very hard. So, I mean, I get where they're coming from. But like I said in the beginning of the video, I mean, there's no judgment on them. Whatever. If that's how they want to ride, that's fine. I just don't get guys, I don't get people, I don't get riders that see other riders that are without gear, and the whole judgment thing starts right off the bat. Like, they won't even, some guys won't even wave to you, won't acknowledge you, you know, just as a friendly wave. Hey, another motorcyclist, you know. Some guys won't do that just because you're not wearing gear. So, I mean, I don't get any of that, and I don't do it that way, but to each his own, I guess. Going back to what I talked about a few seconds ago, where I said that if you don't wear gear and you get into an accident, you're not affecting anyone but yourself. Kind of tying into that with what I'm about to say is that if you do have a family, I don't know, friends and just family, you know, maybe you're married, maybe you have a wife, maybe you have a husband, kids, and if something happens to you, you are going to be affecting their life. That's true. And you got to think about that. Personally, I carry life insurance. That's a personal choice that I made for myself, that if something ever were to happen to me on my bike, I've got life insurance. So my wife, my kids, they'd be good if I were to die. And, you know, you've got to have good insurance also. Medical bills and all that kind of stuff, it can add up. If an accident does happen and you got to pay for it, you got to have insurance, I think. You're really kind of putting a lot, I think, on the line by not having good insurance and riding a motorcycle. I mean, it's risky. So that's something I'd recommend, you know, getting good life insurance, getting a good policy, and having good insurance that if you do get hurt, you could at least have some of that covered, some of that paid for. That's kind of my stance on gear, you guys. It's pretty simple. Number one, I don't judge other riders. You guys wear whatever the heck you want to wear. Number two, I have my personal bare minimum, which is helmets, gloves, decent pair of shoes and pants. That's my minimum. And whatever any other rider does is personal choice and completely up to them. I do not care. The safety that I talk about, safety that I really think is important, that I put out on the channel, is good riding. Being able to ride a motorcycle well is what will keep you safer. You can put on all the gear that exists. You can bubble wrap yourself. But if you can't ride a motorcycle well, you're gonna end up on your deathbed. That's just how it is. That's where I stand. That's how I view all this. And I hope that you guys can understand where it is that I'm coming from and respect it. That's pretty much it, guys. That's my talk on gear. So if you want to see more videos like this one and just general safety riding type videos, you can subscribe to my channel and keep up to date on what it is that I post. I'd love to hear your comments, your opinions down in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.